Hey everybody, welcome to the Odin's Call YouTube channel where we talk about stuff. We're going to hit a hot button topic today because I want to talk about it. And the reason I want to talk about it is it's one of the thousands and thousands of social justice issues that are currently plaguing the nation for whatever reason. Now, um, this is a big one for me because I wish that this love the skin you're in, body positivity, everybody's perfect exactly how they are bullshit, was no longer a thing. I wish that a long time ago it had been less socially acceptable to be the size that I walked around at for a good majority of my life. Now, in fairness, at one point I was a rather proficient athlete, so it might be a little easier for me to get to a point in my life where I can where I saw the error of my ways and started changing some things in an effort to get my body back on track. But this current climate of social justice is just it's getting absolutely ridiculous at this point, right? Fat acceptance. I don't want to actually have to do anything, but what I'd really like to happen is I'd like everything in the world to revolve around me and accommodate me, right? Now, I got to tell you, I've been the guy on the airplane in not too distant memory. I've been the guy on the airplane where I had to go, hey, can I get the you know, and then I always had to make a joke about it. Can I get the fat guy belt? Hey, don't call it that. Haha, just you're just a little bigger than some people. No, I was a fat ass, legit. I mean, what else do you call it, right? When you're a 400+ pound human being, are am I just? Is there just more of me to love? No, I'm fat, and I'm uncomfortable. And I'm making the people next to me uncomfortable. And God help me if I have to take a middle seat somewhere. I'm going to spill over into, I'm going to make two people uncomfortable. Right? It wasn't fun. Here's the bottom line, right? It's great that you like yourself. And you should love yourself. You should love yourself enough to take care of yourself. And maybe the reality is that growing up you had some issues, and growing up you didn't have parents that taught you anything about nutrition, and maybe the issue is you've gone through some depression, and you're whatever the thing is. The bottom line is if you're a 400 pounder, a man 400 pounder, or a woman, I guess, but if you're a 300 pound woman and you find yourself so big that you can't fit into an airplane seat, if you find yourself so big that you make everybody around you uncomfortable, if you have to cram yourself into a subway or an airplane seat, or you know uh, I'll tell you this was a big deal for me. A couple years ago I couldn't fit into the booths at a lot of restaurants, right? It sucked. So in my embarrassment, I had to go in and they'd say, "Oh, booth or table?" And I table, so that I can fit my massive stomach somewhere without having to attempt to suck in a gut that I can't suck in order to fit, or just sit there with 30% of my stomach sitting on top of the table. I mean, anybody who tells you that that being huge, being obese, being unbelievably out of hand fat is somehow a something that's okay, and that you should just accept it, and it's a wonderful thing, and everybody should love you just the way you are. No, everybody should love you just the way they should love you, but they should also care enough about you to say, hey, listen, I'm concerned about you. You matter to me, so I'd like to find a way to help you get down to a healthier body weight. So you can sit there and and you can tell you're still fat, Ragnar. Yes, I am, but I'm working on it, right? Back last September, I got on a scale at 420 pounds. My hips hurt, right? My legs hurt. If I walked around for more than a few minutes, my right leg would start to go numb. You know, I went back a couple of days ago, actually, just out of curiosity. Excuse me. Logged into my fitness pal and went, how much was I eating on an average day? I wonder how many calories I consumed on an average day to get to and then maintain 400 plus pounds. And, you know, sure enough, 4,000, 4,500, 5,000, 5,500 calories on an average day. Some days, you know, you go to Outback Steakhouse and you get the mac and cheese and you get the, you know, you get the fattiest thing that you could possibly get, and then you order a 1,800 calorie dessert. Sometimes it'd be a whole lot more than that. And when I looked at that, I went, well, I guess that's what I got used to, and that's how I got there. Was my body went, yeah, thanks for all that jet fuel. I appreciate it. Right? I'll use that. I'll take it. And we'll just keep packing on them pounds, packing on them pounds, packing on them pounds. You know, it's a positive evolutionary trait to even be able to get fat. Some people can't get fat, right? So what that means is that with your awesome genetics and your ability to store, you know, viable energy for later on, but never having to use that energy because, you know, there's not been a famine in recent memory. Maybe there's one coming, you know, whatever. But the fact that you have the ability to do that means that you have the ability to get rid of a whole lot of it too, right? You can use that. That energy's there to be, it's being stored for you to use at some point. The problem is you never use it. So I feel good about I feel good about being a person that can talk about this intelligently, that can talk about this from real life experience and tell you, you know, if you're morbidly obese right now to the point that, you know, you can't walk up a flight of stairs without being out of breath, if you're morbidly obese right now to the point that when you wake up in the morning, your shoulders hurt, your hips hurt, you know, you've been laying in one spot for so long, your ribs, you know, your body can't support your own weight to the point that sleeping in your body will actually make you wake up sore, you got to do something. And what you shouldn't do is you shouldn't be on fucking TikTok talking about, oh, I love the skin I'm in. No, you don't. I know you don't. And it's not because other people are making you feel bad about it. It's not because people don't accept you as what you are or who you are or whatever. It has nothing to do with that. You feel it. You feel it. It's not fun to be fat. It's hard to be fat. It's physically demanding to be fat. It's more physically demanding than getting rid of it. I've lost 150 pounds since last September. 150 pounds. It'll never come back. And in fact, I'm still losing consistently, a couple pounds a week. And I'm going to keep doing that until I'm at a healthy body weight. I'm 270 right now. I was 420 a little bit over a year ago. So, can I have a conversation with my fellow fat people about this without people coming at me crazy, telling me, you know, I'm part of the problem because I decided to do something to make my health better? I'm not part of the problem. This is the problem. This body positivity, fat acceptance movement bullshit is the problem. People coming out on more than just this topic, on pretty much any topic, you know, whatever you are is perfect. You don't have to change anything. Whatever you are by default is perfect. So don't take care of yourself. Eat whatever you want. Do whatever you want. And anybody who doesn't love you as a result of it, anybody who doesn't high five you for everything that you do, is your enemy, and it's their fault that you're out of hand. No, if you're morbidly obese, unless you're a very rare type of person that has a disorder of some kind of thyroid thing or pituitary thing. Here, let me expand on that. Right, my wife is the exception. right? My wife has had two pituitary tumors, two hormone producing pituitary macroadenomas, ACTH producing. ACTH is the trigger hormone that tells the adrenal glands to produce cortisol. Her cortisol levels were so fucking high that had she been pretty much any other normal human being, she might have actually lost her mind. Cortisol is stress hormone, right? In my wife's case, what caused no, it's Cushing's disease, and if you don't know what that is, feel free to look it up. Right? She gained 90 pounds in about 2.5 months. You know, if that's why you're gaining weight and that's why you're fat, okay, right? Love the skin you're in. Get whatever medical treatment that you need in order to get that under control, and then get back in some kind of meaningful shape at some point, right? But most people eat themselves into obesity. Most people are not my wife, who had no control over it. I remember going to the Magic Foundation. Um, the Magic Foundation was basically a conference for people that had pituitary issues, acromegaly, Cushing's disease, things that affect the pituitary tumors primarily. And one of the doctors there said, you know, for a lot of people, it might be fun for you to be able to assign responsibility for obesity to a tumor. And at least in the case of people with pituitary disorders, they can explain why that they feel that way. And I kind of started thinking, I'm fat, and I was really fat at the time. I started thinking, yeah, you know what? If I had some like biological reason, like something I couldn't do anything to control, something that said, this is why you're gaining all this weight, and it's not your fault. Yeah, I probably would have felt better about that. It's not because you ate a bunch of cheeseburgers. It's not because you ate a box of oatmeal cream pies. It's not because of your behaviors. It's because of a tumor. Yeah, I guess I would have felt a little better about it at the time, right? At least I would have had an excuse. And in my wife's case, it was tough for her because she'd never been a big girl, and suddenly she was like automatically a big girl, and she got a little bit of grief for it, for sure. People looked at her different. People talked to her different. People didn't treat her like the hot girl that she was accustomed to being at the time. But she got it together. She's doing better these days. So, but in my case, I was fat because I ate too much. And if you're the type of person who's fat because you eat too much, stop accepting it. Do something about it. You should spend as much time on not doing this, going to the gym, reading up on nutrition, finding options that change that will change the composition of your body. You should spend all of the time that you spend telling everyone to accept you exactly how you are, actually doing something about it. Actively doing something about it. And I'm going to give you a little bit of advice just from somebody who actually is doing it, as opposed to this nonsense. I just, fat people are more fun. Accept the skin you're in. Lizzo's beautiful. She doesn't need to lose any weight. She's great how she is. Right? Tess Holliday's beautiful. That's a new ideal body type. No, it's not. Tess Holliday will be dead by 50 if she doesn't change something about the way she's doing it. I don't want that to happen to her. But that's how it is. My grandfather died at 50 years old of a stroke. A night after he had a full pot of spaghetti in his stomach when he died. A full pot of spaghetti. I got a family full of fat people. 500 pounds. I imagine they buried him in a piano box or something. Because he ate too much. Not because his genetics sucked. His genetics probably told him eat. His genetics probably said eat, 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 eat. Self-control is important in all aspects of life. Doing whatever you want whenever you want it is not okay. It's never okay. It's never okay. Whatever you want whenever you want it, it's never okay. So let me tell you what I did. And whether you agree with me or don't agree with me, I don't care. I can tell you it works, right? I made a decision last September, and I'm not patting myself on the back here. I shouldn't have had to make this decision. I shouldn't have had to do it. I should have never got that big to begin with, but I did. So I had to make a decision to go the other way. And I made that decision, and I have zero regrets. And the reason that I have no regrets is I feel better than I felt in decades. I'm 43 years old. I feel better than I did when I was 23 years old. So, I mean, if you want to talk about feeling good, you can feel a whole lot better immediately by getting your food stuff under control. So I'll tell you what I did. And if you want to, and if you want some help, and you need an accountability partner, you need somebody who cares, that can, somebody that you could check in with, I'll do it. I'll do it because I know how hard it is to be fat, and I know how hard it is to hold yourself accountable. And I know it would have been easier anyway for me at the beginning of this journey had someone been holding me accountable, but instead I had to hold myself accountable because I really didn't have anybody to have these conversations with. I watched a video from Dr. Sten Ekberg, former Olympic decathlete, and I watched hundreds of hours of his videos of him explaining the biology of the human body and what your body does to hold on to fat, what your body does to hang on to as much mass as it can hang on to in an effort to prepare for the lean times that in the modern age never come. They never come because you can go to the grocery store and replace anything. Nobody's starving to death in the United States of America if they have, unless you're on the street somewhere. But I mean, even then, nobody's starving to death in the United States of America. I don't think there's been a case of starvation in a very long time. There's always a way to find a meal, right? But in particular, the average person can go to the grocery store and make some choices, right? Do I get the chicken breast, or do I get the TV dinner, with 300 grams of carbohydrates and 12 grams of protein and 75 grams of fat, right? Which one of those things should I do? Well, the TV dinner is probably going to taste pretty good, so that's what most people do. Even people that don't get obese. What most people do is they pick the one that tastes the best. And that's it, right? This will taste good. And that's why the majority of Americans are either overweight or they're skinny fat. And in either case, it's not a good thing for you. Listen, I am not casting aspersions on anyone who makes poor food choices because I did it for 20 years personally, right? I ate too much. I ate a half a pan of lasagna. I ate 8 chicken fingers and a half a pound of macaroni and cheese and a half a pound of mashed potatoes soaked in butter and barbecue sauce poured on everything. That's a real meal. I actually flash back to that meal pretty regularly because I did it at least once a week, where I'd have 7 or 8 fried chicken fingers, mountains of mac and cheese, mountains of mashed potatoes, 2 or 3 glasses of milk while I was having that meal. And I always got done, felt like shit. Ugh, I'm never going to eat again. And 2 hours later, I'd have a bowl of cereal. An entire bowl of Lucky Charms, or Cinnamon Toast Crunch, or something, because that'll taste good, and and then I'd wake up in the middle of the night with stomach acid spewing out of my nose because I ate too much. Yeah, fat people, I get it. I've been there recently, somewhat recently. It's been a little while. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of what I've accomplished thus far. Not proud that I ever had to do it, but I'm proud that I'm getting there, right? Look up Dr. Sten Ekberg, Sten Ekberg. I made a video about him once before, but I wanted to do it again because I keep seeing these fat acceptance videos on TikTok and YouTube. Accept people exactly how they are. Yeah, accept people how they are. You should accept people how they are. But it's not a good thing. You should care about people no matter how they are, but it's not a good thing to be a 400-pounder. It's not. These two models, they wouldn't let me into the club because they looked me up and down and said, "Not tonight, honey." Yeah, they didn't want you there. You don't fit in with the crowd they were looking for. That's what bouncers do. I've done it when I was a bouncer. Nope, not hot enough. Nope. Nope. Not what we want our clientele to be. Sorry. This is not what's going to make high value men spend a bunch of money in here. You're not it. Sorry, you can't come in. I wish that happened more often. I wish it had happened to me on some level at some point. Never did. And you know what the problem is? Everybody kept telling me, more to love, man. It's all good, man. More to love. I love you no matter what. Do you want me to grab some McDonald's on the way home? It doesn't matter, man. You carry it really well. Until I didn't. Until I sat down at my work desk, and if I didn't get up and stretch every half an hour, my hips would literally cramp up. My legs would literally cramp up. My feet would fall asleep. I'd lose the ability to breathe properly just from sitting there. And then I'd get hungry and I'd eat. And I'd go to the vending machine and I'd get, 2 Snickers bars and 2 bags of chips and a soda. Come back to my desk and tear down 1,400 calories as a snack. Because I got my body accustomed to doing that. I got my body accustomed to eating shit all day long in massive quantities all day long until that was what my body wanted all day long. And that's the same thing that happens to 98%, I would guess. You can fact check me if you want, but 98% of fat people, that's what the problem is. They eat too much. And then they don't work out. They don't do anything else. They just eat too much. I can't walk on a treadmill because my knees hurt. No shit, your knees hurt. No shit, your ankles hurt. Of course they do. If your body's designed to be 150 pounds and you're lugging around 300 pounds, yeah, your knees are going to hurt. Suck it up and do it anyway. Pick the right meal. In my case, Dr. Stan Ekberg. Now, people give me shit about that too, right? I eat a really good keto diet. And when I say I eat a keto diet, I don't, every meal of mine isn't, a block of cheese and everything fried in pork rinds. The version of keto that I follow is lots of greens, meats, right? Lots and lots of greens, salad dressing with high fat content, avocados, right? I eat good food. I eat real whole foods as opposed to stuffing myself with keto foods. And actually, a lot of people that try keto fail because, or they love the keto. They love the keto diet because they get to eat pork rinds all day, dipped in 4 cups of ranch dressing. That's not a version that I would do. Huh. Wonder who that is. Don't care. Look up Dr. Stan Ekberg. You're morbidly obese right now. Look him up. Some of his content is a little dry. It's very professorial. He just gives lectures effectively on YouTube for the masses to learn about how the body works. But man, I'll tell you, I did it and I've been doing it and it works. And here's the crazy part about it. That overwhelming hunger that you get, you don't get it anymore if you do that. If you do this thing and you do it right. I literally eat 1 time, sometimes 1.5 times a day. I'll have a little snack around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I will not even want to eat again until the following day. Not because I did it, not because of anything, because that's how the body works if you do the right things, right? I can go to the gym and I can do things that I haven't been able to do since I was in my early 20s, right? But you know what? This fat acceptance bullshit is killing people. It's literally, legitimately killing people. Fat acceptance. Latest social justice movement. One of many of the latest social justice movements. Do whatever you want, and everybody has to accept it exactly how it is. Accept you exactly how it is. Do whatever you want, and accommodate all of my bad decisions. Change everything in the world around to accommodate me because I'm fat. I don't want to have to do anything, right? But make your booths bigger, make your airline seats bigger. I do wish they'd make the fucking airline seats bigger because that would just make everybody more comfortable. But, you know, make everything accommodating to everyone. No, the average person doesn't weigh 400 pounds. So, no, we're not going to make everything big enough to accommodate the exception to what's normal. At the rate we're going, frankly, you know, maybe we will have everything accommodating 400 plus pound people everywhere. Could happen, I guess, because that seems to be where everybody wants to go. And I want to eat whatever I want. I want to die when I'm 50. I want to have a full on fucking chest clencher when I'm 45 years old or chest clutcher when I'm 45 years old because I don't want to change any of my behavior, but accept me how I am. Accommodate everything that I think I want, right? And don't make me do anything because I don't want to be personally accountable to bad decisions. What a horrible way. What a horrible lesson to teach the children of America. Do nothing. Never suffer through anything. Never actually have to accomplish anything on your own. Never have to just say no because it's the right thing to do at the moment. Do whatever you want and make sure that the world revolves around you. No personal accountability in 2022. It's bullshit. It's time to change it. I'm triggered. Clearly. Love you. I really do. If you want some help, you're a fat person right now, and you've watched all of this, and you're not offended, and you're actually kind of going, yeah, I think this guy's right. You want some help? Let me know. I got some resources for you.